Hello everybody, it's Rebecca here at Why Mermaids, and welcome to Vlogmas Day number 2! So it's Wednesday, but I'm not doing Top 5 Wednesday today. The topic is our top 5 favorite audiobooks. And I don't really have favorite audiobooks, I just don't. So I thought that today, instead of listing off my favorite ones, I would just talk about audiobooks. And why they're good, why they're bad, thoughts on audiobooks, really. So I started listening to audiobooks really over the course of the year when I got on BookTube, and I was like, oh, if I listen to audiobooks, it's one extra book every month that I get to put on my, this is what I read this month because I listened to it. But I have a weird thing about audiobooks. So I have a weird, auditory thing. I can't necessarily process everything if it's said to me. I learn by reading and by doing, so reading and writing really are the best ways for me to learn. So when I hear something, unless I'm focusing intently on it, sometimes it tends to just go in one ear and straight out, or not even in at all. I'll just hear it as white noise, but not really comprehend it. So audiobooks for me, I was very kind of nervous about trying them out, because how am I going to pay attention to this story and follow along with these complicated details if I can't really comprehend all that well? If you tell me directions, I cannot do it. I'll have to write them down and reference them. I can't just hear it and know what to do. I was very kind of nervous about listening to audiobooks because of that. So what I decided to do with audiobooks was just to pick books fluffier books and listen to those, or easier books where it didn't matter if I didn't hear every single word and comprehend them all. I still kind of generally got the gist, the idea of what was happening. So I've read a number of books throughout the year on audiobook. My favorite one was probably Forgive Me, Lenoard Peacock by Matthew Quick. That one was really good because I was able to really get inside the head of the main character of Lenoard Peacock and really hear it and focus in on it. Another one of my favorite ones to listen to was Veronica Mars. The first one, The $1,000 Tan Line by Rob Thomas and Jennifer Graham, because it was read by Kristen Bell, who plays Veronica in the book series. And so that was really good because it was just like watching the show without watching it, you're just listening to it. So it was like watching the show while you're doing other things and you're just listening to what's happening. That's kind of what it was like. And so Kristen Bell did a really good job, and I was able to really enjoy it. I also really enjoyed The Princess Diaries because that was read by Anne Hathaway, and I'm a really big fan of memoirs when they're read by the author. So I read Choose Your Own Autobiography by Neil Patrick Harris. I listened to that, and he read it, and that was really fun because it was his voice reading his writing. The same thing with Yes Please by Amy Poehler. So these are some of the books that I've really enjoyed listening to an audiobook. They were simple books, and they were read by good narrators, where I was able to really get into that zone and really listen, and I didn't feel like I was missing anything. It was kind of simple, light kind of reading. So while I really liked Forgive Me, Lenoard Peacock by Matthew Quick, I hated The Good Luck of Right Now by Matthew Quick. I listened to that one, and I've had a really hard time following what was happening. I did not like the narrator. I felt like he was too slow and almost making a mockery of the character, and I zoned out way too much to actually give it any sort of I understood what was happening. And I zoned out some of the other ones as well. I zoned out during Princess Diaries, I know for sure, but for the most part it didn't matter. Whereas The Good Luck of Right Now, it was so draggy and rambly that I just had a hard time with it. I also tried to listen to Game of Thrones, the audiobook, when I wanted to do a reread. I got maybe a page in, and I couldn't handle the narrator, and I was already lost with what was happening. So audiobooks are something that I have to listen to fluffy, lighter reads for audiobooks, just because I can't take those big, strong narrative passages that are too in-depth and there's too many characters, and I lose a lot of it. I've listened to Harry Potter on audiobook, both the Jim Dale and the Stephen Fry versions, because it's Harry Potter, so of course I have. And those I'm fine with as well, but probably because I've read the books. And I haven't listened to the full audiobook. I would just have it on shuffle, and my iPod would just be chapter 4, Harry and Ron, and blah 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 blah, and it was great, and I would just totally zone out and listen to Harry Potter for a chapter and then go back to Hansen or something. And that was great. I was able to do it fine. But so audiobooks for me, it's really like I listen to it while I'm driving. It's really the only time that I've listened to audiobooks. Sometimes I'll do it at the gym, and sometimes I'll do it like while I'm doing my hair and stuff in the morning. Sometimes audiobooks though can help you push through a slow section because listening to it sometimes goes a little bit faster than you rereading the same passage 6 times in a row. So it really worked for me for when I read Emma by Jane Austen over the summer. Listening to Emma really helped me get back into it and get into that world. So sometimes audiobooks are good because they do, you get to hear the characters and you get to hear what they sound like, and that can be really beneficial. Other times, it's overdone and I can't stand it. So anyway, this has been a rambling rant about audiobooks. Let me know down in the comments below some of your favorite audiobooks, ones that you would recommend for me. Not big hunker, massive audiobooks, but ones that I can kind of pick up here and there for a 20-minute drive here, a 20-minute drive there, and maybe while I'm doing my hair in the morning. Anyway, so let me know down in the comments below your recommendations for audiobooks, your thoughts on audiobooks, and that's it for me today. Happy Vlogmas Day number 2. I'll see you next time.